everybody, welcome to Sports Bitches. My name is Rachel Vanetta and joined by two of my best buds, Megan Gailey, Sarah Tiana. Now, February is a big month for this crew. We got 2 birthdays, not 1, but 2, and they're on the same damn day. Megan, Sarah, y'all share a birthday. When did you guys figure this out? Because it's so weird.
I think we figured it out on that plane ride to Aspen.
Yeah, I think so. That is good.
Say more about that.
Okay, so
in first class.
we were talking about this where it's like Sarah and I met for the first time when we both did our half hours in New Orleans. And we met like very briefly. It was like I knew I liked her. I hope she knew she liked me, but it was very brief. And then we got seated next to each other, directly next to each other in first class on a plane to Aspen to do a comedy festival. And it was like intense love at second sight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and then you guys found out that you share a birthday.
Yeah, I think you had a bit about like fantasy football team, you name like your Sacks in the City. And then we started talking about sports, and then we immediately realized that we liked all the same things and we loved talking about all the same things. We even had the same birthday, so that definitely made sense. And I was like, I wonder why we've never met. And I realized it was because we had the same agent and they didn't want me to know that there was a 10-year younger, funnier version of myself out there.
No. And it was, so we were talking, I was dating CJ at the time, you and Chris were dating. And so like, we were like, oh, both of our spouses work in sports. And across the aisle from us was Colin Jost. And you knew him, Sarah. You guys were friends. And so we were like, Colin, are you dating anyone? And he was like, yeah. And then I remember Sarah being like, how did you guys meet? And he was like, well, she hosted the show, meaning SNL.
No, I told you this story. This is not where we discussed it.
I
We didn't talk to
swear.
Colin about it there. I talked to him about it
okay.
on the slopes because he was the only one that wanted to
On
go
the
snowboarding. He was the only, I didn't know him that well. I mean, I knew of him, like we had mutual friends.
Yeah.
But I had never met him. And then I was going snowboarding and nobody else was because they give you free passes in Aspen. And he was like, you're going? I want to go. I'm like, all right. So we just like had a whole day together, just me and Colin. And then we're having lunch and I'm asking him all these questions about himself. Like, where did you go to school? Oh, you went to school? Where'd you go to college?
Harvard.
I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, what'd you study? He's like, Russian. I go, huh.
What?
And then I'm asking if he's dating anybody. He says, yes. I said, how'd you meet her? She hosted this show. I go, is she like a celebrity or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they just let Joe Schmo up on that stage.
I told you that story later that night, Megan.
Oh, no,
when we
I
were
co-opted it.
Did he tell?
Okay.
So he told you, or you figured
when we
it
were
out?
at
Was
that
he like
weird bar
Yeah.
I'm dating Scarlett Johansson
on the couches? There was like couches inside
we
the
went to
bar
this
that we were
club.
performing at. Yeah, it was really uncomfortable. And I was telling you the story because I was so embarrassed.
So
and
funny.
I'm like, he's having me text pictures and videos of himself on the slopes to her. And then she's asking him to ask me questions about this makeup line. I was like,
What?
I cannot believe that I'm talking to Scarlett Johansson through you.
Through him. And so like the LA to Aspen plane, funny plane, by the way.
Very funny.
And there were like 6 seats in first class. We were only in first class because the festival like paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then sitting directly in front of us was like a high-powered agent who was older and his wife. And she loved Sarah and me because we were having mimosas. And this bitch's ring was like this big. Like she was like, you girls are so fun.
If you guys are listening on a podcast, Megan just held up a full apple to her ring finger.
Wasn't it Tiffany? I think it was Tiffany's manager.
Maybe.
And his
Yeah.
wife. Yeah.
Loved them.
I
Missed
don't
them.
know, but Megan and I fell in love and we were all just like giggly, and that's when we found out we had the same birthday. So I hope that answers your question.
Wow, and I'm glad that I asked.
Long
and then
way
years
around.
later, I slid into your DMs being like, can I be your third?
And we were like, yeah, we've been looking for a third.
Yeah, actually we've
When's your
looking,
birth? When's your birthday?
Yeah, I would have failed that. Wait, and you guys both have a love of Benihana, and that's how you celebrated y'all's birthday, right? How was that? Did you catch a bunch of shrimp in your mouth?
No, Megan can't catch any, right?
Is that not a
Because you're
thing?
Kiss.
I can't really. No, they do it. He was
They do it.
our guy last night when he started. I go, oh, we got an artist tonight. Like he was doing tricks with eggs, and we were like, eggs are expensive. Like he like did a trick with an egg and then discarded it, and we were like, give it back.
Do you think that you have to audition to be a
Oh,
Benihana
yeah.
chef?
You have to train. You have to train because we were there towards the very end and we saw a guy practicing in the back who was like a white
No,
guy.
you didn't. What's it called? Is it called like flair? Or what's it called when
I
a
don't
bartender's like
know.
doing that
Oh,
stuff? I think it's called like
so-
flair, isn't it?
That's really funny when they do that. But yeah, there was a guy like playing with fire in the back corner, and everybody was like,
hilarious.
everybody was doing their side work and like watching him. I'm like, this is amazing. My Benihana was so good. I took a whole to-go thing home. I had 2 scoopfuls of it in my mouth right before I came up here. And the hostesses hated us, but
Why?
well,
Because
because
you're a big crew.
no, there was 5 of us, and like we got seated 40 minutes after our reservation. This is no shade to Benihana, I love you in my heart. And like my best friend who's in town, I had gone up once to be like, how long for Megan? Like I'm pregnant. It's my birthday. I'm not a nice, like I'm not gonna be great. And then my friend went up and was like, listen, it's my friend's birthday. She's pregnant and she's irritable, and it's now making me irritable. And then we got seated within a minute.
Amazing. That's a good friend.
Yeah.
Sarah, how was your experience? Did you get the top flair artist?
I did not. I got the 3:30 p.m. on a Friday.
Devastating. A devastating blow if he's
Kept
listening.
missing and making mistakes and having to try again.
No.
That
This is so funny to me.
guy. But it was still very delicious.
So
And we were
good.
sitting next to a couple who had a baby who was almost 1, and it was a really tiny baby. And I was like, oh, like how? Basically, I was like, oh, he's really small. I wish Cage had ever been that small. He's never been. And they were like, yeah, he was born at 29 weeks. So
What?
I'm like,
Oh.
what? We had 1.5 pounds when he was born, and they spent 2 months in the hospital.
That's so
So
scary.
of course, Cage is like in his face like this, like just so I'm like, get your germs away from that baby.
Little premature baby.
And then there was another couple with us there because it's Valentine's Day. This
Yeah.
is on Friday, and then I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you guys probably don't have kids. And they're like, no, we have a 2-year-old. We left her at home. And I go, and then now you're like at a table with kids.
Of
Oh
course.
no. Well, they chose Benihana. So what were they?
I know. There were so many kids there last night. And when I was leaving the house, because I went with 4 girlfriends, CJ kept going, we weren't invited. We weren't invited. And I was like, Conrad, no offense, but you've been to Benihana 1 time and you puked 5 times, and we had to leave through a back exit. So it's going to be a bit before I take you back there.
You're talking about like the training that they must go through, and it reminds me of when I worked for a company called Sports Magic when I was in college. So I worked for the Braves, and it's basically a company that like they shoot the t-shirts out of the cannons at the stadium, and like you make balloon animals, and you do all these like games in the crowd where I had like this basketball hoop that went up and down, like you would pull the levers and then it went
Heroes,
lower.
heroes, first responders.
And then you throw out a like a plushy baseball, and then they have to like throw it, but you're doing all the work, like you're catching it. Or then we had like a batting helmet that had a tomahawk made out of foam, like a basically a unicorn horn, and then we'd throw out rings, and then people had to like shoot the ring, whatever. Entertainment between innings at the game. So basically you had to do all the work as the person that was catching all of these games, and you have to go and train in Orlando, Florida, which is where they started.
I knew it was going to be Orlando. Like when you said train, I go, they're going to Orlando.
And
that's where Magic goes to live.
That's fancy.
Orlando Magic was the first place that they started doing, like that hired them. And then they also worked for Jimmy Buffett. Like they would do all this stuff at like concerts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
How old were you when you were doing this, Sarah?
I was in college. It was like 20, 21.
Sounds fun as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I got to go to every Braves game at home. I mean, it was literally my dream come true. And so it was probably, I worked there in 99 and 2000. So yeah, I was,
those
I
like
turned
little
21 on the job. basically.
Those little entertainment things. CJ, I believe, was an intern or worked for like the Erie, Pennsylvania arena football team. And they were sponsored by a funeral home. And they would do like a punt, pass, and kick into a casket.
You're not telling the truth. That is
and
insane.
I am telling the truth. There was some sort of game that involved a football and it going into a casket.
Yeah, it's the pass portion.
And it's like, that's what you go for. Like Erie football, Erie arena football. God love you. I'm sure you're professionals, but like I'm there to see someone punt into a casket.
Of course, I would go out of my way to now go
So
to
much
that
fun.
event.
I still know how to make balloon animals because of it.
Hell yeah,
wow.
you do.
Great gig.
Hell yeah, you do. Why weren't you doing that at my wedding, bro?
Didn't
I would have loved that.
Cage's birthday's coming up. You don't even need to hire out.
I used to work at a pub, and our training was we'd have to hold 2 gigantic steins filled with beer to see if we were ready to be a server like this. And I couldn't do it because I had weak wrists, so I was the hostess.
Hostess is such a good gig, though.
I can't even hold a pan.
Not if you work at Benihana, it's not.
Well, they were not coming with the professional attitude that they needed for President's Day / Meghan, Sarah, Michael Jordan, Paris Hilton's birthday. Like, it's like, this is the busiest day of the year. Okay? This is President's Day / Sarah Tiana Megan Gailey's birthday. You need to come correct to the Benihana at the
Bring your best talent.
Arcadia Mall. Okay?
Maybe I need to try Benihana again because you guys brought me for my very first time and I've not been back.
Ooh, that salad dressing. Like everything hits.
I like that mustard sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 4 of them last night.
Oh, share the wealth.
I said keep them coming.
We got book club. We got book club
your-
tomorrow night. Why
your
don't we do a little
belly.
taster?
Instead of the oil that for stretch marks, you're just rubbing Benihana mustard sauce.
Well, and like my friends are with me, they're like, why don't they sell this? Why don't they bottle this? I'm like, guys, I know. They're leaving money on the table. Steve Aoki. With Steve Aoki's dad. But whatever.
Is it really? That owns Benihana?
Created it.
Wow, so he's a nepo
Did that
baby.
change your mind, Rachel?
Talk about magic.
No, Steve Aoki is a bit weird.
Yeah. Well, I also had some magic because I went to Disneyland for my birthday yesterday with my sister and my cousins and their kids, and we spent 14 hours there, which is not how long I normally spend there. Me and Cage are like 6 hours in and out.
Yeah, ditto.
But they, haven't. But their kids never get to go, so they definitely wanted the whole experience, and it was magical and lovely. There was one lady in the store that didn't make it magical, so she will show up in my survey. But other than that, that's the first time maybe in 2 years that I've ever had some sort of rude
non-magic.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave a Yelp review for the Disney experience?
No, they send you a survey after you leave, like into your email, especially for season
pass holders. I think it's your cousin. She leaves the most positive Instagram stories. Like she's like, we're having margaritas. Like she's like posting. I'm like, I want to come. Like she's like, best way to wake up in Encino. I'm just like, she's having a great time.
Joelle is my cousin Joelle is also like has an incredible green thumb because her mom, my aunt, worked in a nursery, and like their garden in their backyard, the amount of food that they grow themselves, the amount of
guys, we got to start doing that if the world's gonna end. We got to start.
I
learning
know.
how to grow some crops.
I
need to harvest.
I might as well not even have thumbs. Like it's
they're certainly not green.
No, they're rotted.
Yeah, I kill everything. I have a black thumb. I am the equivalent of the punt.
I've just started buying fake plants.
Yeah, it's not.
Fake plants. Love it. Not a bad idea, honestly.
All right. Should we get into some sports magic, some sports magic?
Let's get into some sports magic. First off, just like what is going on right now? It's February. Like it just feels we're at the point in the year where it's just like everything is far away that we love.
Well, and it's tough because it's All-Star break. And
did you guys watch All-Star at all?
I watched some events. I watched some of
it, and then I changed to the 50-year anniversary of SNL, and I loved. What a great decision that was. But it just feels like All Stars like a nothing burger of an event,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
and it's never
Because
gonna.
I mean, I watched the slam dunk competition, and you know, the problem is nobody signs up to do it because
Nope.
no one wants to look like they make a mistake or
Yep.
look like they don't win. Because if you're Giannis and you do the slam dunk competition and you lose to some rookie
Yeah, it's like, oh,
on,
Giannis is washed.
yeah,
But it's like
that-
that's why we're watching. That's fun, Giannis.
yeah, that's way more
Um,
fun.
I think it's so Mac McClung won again. Um,
Again, third time in a
ju-
row.
actually jumped over a car. I know everyone's
Ah,
like Blake Griffin did. It's like Blake Griffin jumped over a hood.
the
Um,
hood.
Mac McClung jumped over a man standing out of a sunroof holding a ball. And Mac McClung is like 6'1", maybe. Like if he was on Hinge, you could say 6'2", and you'd be like, okay, he's 6 foot. Like he is a shorty and he gets up there and he's not even like full time on a roster. He is
Mm-mm.
a G League player. And I'm like, at this point,
That's crazy.
I think what they should do is they should have all G League players do the dunk contest, and whoever wins gets a roster spot for the rest of the year.
Ooh.
I do really like that.
Incentivize it.
You know what I think the All-Star games and events need? We need some like real animosity between these players, because it's like everyone's like so happy to see la, 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 la. I want to see WNBA All-Star, and girls are just like, oh, fucking
NHL.
like I need like Kendrick Drake levels of hatred.
Yes.
And stop being
Drama.
so friendly.
Yeah.
You guys are on different teams. Fight
It's-
each other. Punch each other in the face.
It's so interesting for this Four Nations NHL tournament to be happening at the
Yes.
same time as NBA because they're fighting. Like
They're-
there were like 3 fights in the first like 60 seconds.
Which was like crazy, so crazy, and fight us of all people. What have we done to you?
What if-
USA's a bunch of nasties. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Real quick, what if for the NBA All-Star game, instead of the athletes playing, we let the athletes' wives play against girls that they've hooked up with?
I'm in. I
That's
am
incredible.
I've
Drama.
never been more in.
That's
never been more in.
incredible. Because you know there's going to be a pregnant lady out there. Like, no, I've been waiting to tip
Let's see if she
Tiffany
gets
in my
checked.
face.
I think you need to choose like the feistiest guys on each team and really like go like East versus West and have something on the line. Because right now it's
Yeah.
just like I can go to a park and watch a pickup game and it's the same stakes. You know, I could go to
Yeah.
CJ's final recreation game and it's probably
Higher.
more entertaining.
Higher stakes.
higher.
People were trying to fight in the parking lot.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
What would they say about the area code?
Oh yeah, they were like you don't fight with 310. It's like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that the NHL and the NHL is obviously like fighting. That's why it's so fun. And it's like they're having all these fights and Russia can't even play. So it's like these are like the Nordic countries, Canada and the US. And
Finland.
they're like, we'll fight.
Who knew
Finland's like, I'll
Finland?
fight.
Finland was like, I get down. I get down. Give me a night, a day, a time, a place. I'll be there and I'll beat your ass.
I think the US and Canada are going to play again. I
They
think that's
are.
going to be the final.
Yeah. They
Yeah, so-
are.
I
Guys,
haven't
we're
gotten
gonna
to
come
see
out
it. I've just
swinging.
been
That's gonna
watching
be
clips
messy.
online.
Yeah, even like so CJ went to All-Star. He's gone to probably the last like 10 for work and he's like the events. He just says it's all I went last year, obviously. And he's like it's just all so corporate. And so he's like it has no soul to it anymore. The events are poorly attended. Like it's just
They should do, you know what I would watch? They should do like what the Pro Bowl does and have people playing dodgeball and stupid
Yeah.
ass shit and racing each other. I'd watch that. That sounds
yeah.
fun.
Last year the best thing was Steph versus Sabrina. And
Totally.
it's like, I don't know if you guys watched the halftime show. It was so good. It was like Too Short and Vogue. And
Oh, and
Vogue
Vogue. Yes,
has
I did see
been
En Vogue.
locked away somewhere training for this moment. Like there was a woman who was in the best shape I've ever seen a woman in. And I'm like, I'm sure she's a grandmother. And they were like, never gonna get it. All four of
Oh,
them
yeah, I did watch this.
harmonizing. Like I was like, ugh. It
Don't
was,
mind.
Saweetie was out there. Like I was like,
Sweetie. Yeah, I
okay,
saw that.
this is a good halftime show. They are doing the best performance of the entire weekend, and that includes the basketball.
Oh my God, speaking of halftime shows, have you guys seen the clip of Drake coming out and he's
Yes.
got like a sweater with bullet holes all over it and the sweater is steaming, like it's smoking?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Has
What?
anyone been left looking like a bigger dork?
I know.
Like,
I do
oh,
love
wow.
those big old cowboy boots he's wearing though. I think they're
I
so
didn't even
funny.
clunk the cowboy boots. I was just looking at the bullet holes from Kendrick.
I do think they're funny.
Okay, so this week we had President's Day on Monday. Didn't celebrate.
You were celebrating our birthday. You sent me a gorgeous display of cupcakes.
Yes.
For
Oh, I should-
for my birthday that also had a President's Day tie-in. You think you're gonna open them and say, I love Megan Gailey or happy birthday. I open them up and they say Trump poops his pants on my cupcakes, and I go, I bet Susie Cakes. You said it. You were like, I bet Susie Cakes was thrilled to make these on a Monday morning.
I was half expecting them to be like, we can't do this. But
I
was
bet
like,
they
I'm
thought
gonna
about
push
it.
through.
And then they were like,
my God.
nah, we'll do it. Sarah's,
No,
what
we
did
can do
yours say?
So I got mine when I got home from Disneyland, and yours was President's Day related. Mine was football related because mine said Harry Connick, and I was so excited because two of them said Harry Connick. Then I opened the second box and it said sucks, and I go,
I'm
well,
still
You
bitter.
got
Rachel
two-
just lost another $100 because
You got
spent
True.
You got-
money on 4 cupcakes,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna eat
true.
it once.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, you got 2 boxes? I only got 1. It was so funny. They got dropped off and CJ was gonna have to leave the Hi KG.
Gee.
What's up? Yes, you can paint that rock. Go ahead. Close my door, please.
Paint that rock. You go
Yeah.
paint that rock, dog. No school today?
No, he's staying home because my niece is here still.
Gotcha. I got it.
Yeah, so I came home to Harry Connick, and I'm guessing you're talking about Harry Connick Jr.'s dad. He's the one that sucks.
I
Oh,
couldn't.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Junior.
didn't know. I didn't know if I wanted to put a junior on its own little solo cupcake. I was like, she's gonna know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
So those were
You're just a hater.
a beautiful gift.
Beautiful. Susie
with
Cakes,
the
you cannot
press.
go wrong.
Oh
You
my God,
you
it's
really
the
can't.
best. It's the
Beautiful gift
best.
for my beautiful gals. But anyways, it was President's Day on Monday, and we thought it might be fun to kind of go through. I'm having to learn about the government because unfortunately I am going to get my citizenship because I don't want to be deported. But I have to be like questioned on like what are the branches of the government? I don't know anything.
And
I
like,
don't know.
do they even exist? You know, like you're like,
Not right now.
here's what they were: executive, judicial.
Yeah. So we thought that we wanted to do
Congress, lawmakers, What are they?
Legislative.
cabinet.
legislative. Thank you. But like they're gone, so it's like
I
can't
did have to
remember them.
Google what commerce meant, and I was like, I shouldn't be doing this section. It's not a good segment for me. Anyways, we are going to talk about who we would rather see in these positions, athlete edition. I only have a few. Meg, you got a few. Who wants to start?
I can go first. My first pick is Greg Popovich. Whenever Pop goes off, which sometimes he will go off, and he will give like a 19-minute press conference about like gun reform. And it's like they were asking about Wemby, and he's like, no, I'm going to tell you about AR-15s and why citizens don't need them. I'm always like, whenever Pop goes off, I am like that Meryl Streep gif from the Oscars. Like, I'm like, cook, Pop, cook. Like, he's so smart. He's in Texas. He's like beloved. Like, I'm just like, I think you could beat Ted Cruz. Like, I think you really could be a senator. But
He's also
he is
really old and sickly, so he'd be a perfect president.
Yes. But he is busy crafting the next great superstar of basketball. So I understand that's actually probably more important for America, even though that basketball star is French. But I just like love, he's so smart, and he's so impassioned by it. And I love hearing him speak about really any topic. I find myself agreeing with him 100% of the time.
I have for the Secretary of Defense Miles Garrett, but maybe this is going to lean too much Trump.
That's fun.
Because I was just like, anybody that we have issues with, let's make a tombstone with their name on it, put it on the front lawn of America, and just tell them we mean business.
I would love a Secretary of Defense that really cares about Halloween. That would be great.
You know, I'm voting for that guy.
I'm into it. I want Tua Tagovailoa to be the vice president because he's used to people trying to kill him. So I just feel like he'd be very comfortable in that role.
He's like, finally, I get to be the designated survivor, and I don't have to play behind the offensive line of the Dolphins.
It's actually safer to be Trump's vice president than to play.
Oh my God.
Mike Pence is like, Tua, I'd like a word.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next pick is genuine. Pop was genuine, but like I think about this all the time, and there's so many people doing like actual really good work and like keeping whole communities together right now. I've decided that my purpose is deciding who should run in 2028. And we've obviously gone with like qualified people, you know, and I think we got to stop that. They got unqualified. We got to go unqualified. They got somebody who says crazy shit. We got to go with somebody who says crazy shit. They have someone that the American public knew and saw on television a lot. We got to go with someone the American public knows and is on television a lot. And that's why I think the only answer for the presidential candidate for 2028 is Charles Barkley.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to say. What?
I love it.
Not Mark
Charles
Cuban.
Barkley.
Southern Democrat.
No. Charles Barkley. Yes, a Southern Black Democrat, educated in Louisiana.
Okay, I like this.
Charles Barkley, in a debate with Trump, he would call him ugly, stupid, insult all of his children. Like, Charles Barkley once was like, if you're mean to trans people, I will fight you. Like he is like, it's like, listen, you're on the right side. It's a little rough, but I love it. It's so impassioned. Even when he's like wrong, I'm like, yes, I love it. And if he can't run, if he's like, no, I don't want this mess, I think Shaq could do it. I feel like Shaq is like ready to be president. He already knows the general and he could slide right in there too.
He's too busy selling printer ink. I will say for the Mark Cuban argument, I do like Barkley. Mark Cuban, everyone has to come in and pitch him as a shark. Yeah. I want to cut the deficit in half, and here's how I'm going to do it.
And he's like, I'm out. Mitch McConnell, I'm out.
You know, Stephen A. Smith has been like...
Yeah. Oh, he's polling. He's at like 2%. He's not doing that much worse than like Pete Buttigieg.
Jesus.
That's what, like, people, we want unqualified. That is what people want. They want chaos.
So. Speaking of unqualified, or maybe actually very qualified, the Secretary of Commerce, I want a combo. I want a duo team for this, and it's Travis and Taylor. Taylor sold out all across she knows about money. She knows about how to make money for the people.
Why?
And then what's Travis just doing?
I don't know. He's just hanging out.
Yeah, he's the first husband of.
He's just dapping people up. He's just dapping people up in the meetings, welcoming them into the Oval Office.
I want Marshawn Lynch to be head of transportation. What is it? Transportation, Sarah?
Yeah.
What, Pete?
Yeah, that's what Pete was.
Yes. So I want the Marshawn Lynch to do that because Marshawn Lynch always famously rode the bus or the train to his Raiders games
BART.
to and from. Loved BART, Bay Area Rapid Transportation. Loved BART. And I think we need more trains and buses and like communal
because the planes are
transportation.
crashing? Is that why?
The train.
Did you guys see the Toronto one?
We saw.
No, but there's absolutely no excuse for us to not have like high speed trains in this
Europe
country
has
when
it.
It's so amazing in Europe.
I know.
It's like it's
Efficient,
also great
safe,
work.
cheap. Yep.
I would
Building,
exclusively be a train
infrastructure.
girl. I'd
Me
be a train girl.
too.
Infrastructure is great.
I honestly am like the airline lobby must be so evil. Like they must have so many Polaroids of senators with underage sex workers because they're able to, because it's like we all want trains. Trains are like whenever they're like they're gonna build a train from LA to San Francisco, I'm like, have it done now. And it's like it never happened. Like it's oh, please give us a train. All we want is to be on trains. I love Agatha Christie.
Yes, we're all a little autistic. We're very pro train. No, but the Toronto stuff is actually really freaky. Like, how does that even
Yeah.
happen?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they said that. Yeah, the flaps went down, but the way that
Sorry, the flaps?
yeah, I didn't have them the way they're supposed to be up to like slow it down, but they were not. But I don't know. That could have been a malfunction. Like who knows? Like so. But the way that the pilot turned the plane saved everybody because it did a roll
Oh, like
instead
when-
of it going
Okay,
and crashing.
Sully.
So like the way that
Yeah, I
he
know.
turned it made it flip. And then that, but also I think the snow helped too, just like putting out the fire pretty quickly.
Rachel, I bet they're gonna add like an airplane portion to your quiz to become a citizen because they're gonna be like, you need to know airplanes because we need some people to come and work.
Yes.
Will you guys come to my naturalization?
Oh, my
ceremony?
gosh.
Are you
I'll
kidding?
wear like a Marlboro bikini.
Yes.
Oh.
And then I'll bring cupcakes that say, I do not support immigrants. Or she did this for a green card
Yeah,
and a green cupcake.
I got. I gotta start
She did
studying.
this for a green cupcake. Instead of
I would
card.
love I would love to study along with you. Because
I
it's like
know.
stuff we should all know. And like we
Yes,
probably
I don't know
need
what
to.
it is exactly.
Like legislative branch.
But my last one is Veterans Affairs goes to Peyton Manning. I feel like he's good at
Ooh,
wrangle
Veterans
together the
Affairs.
vets. I don't know.
He is
Not
so
Gronk?
many places.
Certainly
Oh, yeah.
not Gronk.
USAA. Hey,
Guys,
like,
okay,
I'm
can we
special.
talk about that for 1 second? Because every single time I see these commercials, I'm like, who wrote these? Who pitched this idea? You want Gronk stealing aid from people who have been in the army? What is
Yes.
going on?
But we
That
remember
is-
them. Like I think of USAA too, and like also USAA has great loans. Like you're never gonna get a better interest rate than USAA. Like anytime,
Of course.
yeah,
Sure,
don't even.
but you got a
try.
fucking ding dong that's trying to get those as well, and he didn't spend any time
Guys,
fighting for this country.
breaking
The only-
news.
Uh-oh.
What?
The Pope has pneumonia.
Oh, no.
And he's 88.
Devastating. Light the fire. Light the smoke.
No.
So
This
it's
Pope has
like-
been so good.
I
This Pope
wonder
has been
if
so
Has
good.
he? Isn't he like
Yes.
anti-gay?
No.
I think he likes gay.
He's been the most progressive pope of all time.
Oh no. Who gave him
Yeah.
pneumonia?
I'm sure the conclave Oscar PR people because they're like, if the Pope dies, we win. You
Get
know,
a camera
conclave-
in there. Get a camera in there.
Yes.
Let us watch Conclave
Send-
IRL.
Send in a secret camera and all the vapes because we all know they're vaping from
I
conclave.
loved that.
I must
in
have
there.
made a pope joke 8 times during the fires in LA. I'm like, oh, white smoke, we got a new pope. Every time, like, a new.
Have you guys ever been to the Vatican?
Oh yes,
It's
I've been like
bonkers.
I've been like 3 times, and each time, like the first time I went, you could go like all the way up. You could like touch everything, like it was like you were in there. Second time, barrier further back. Third time, they're like, don't even look at this bitch. Like
thought you were
I was
gonna
like, something happened.
She's like, I've been 3 times. I thought you could say I burst into flames every time I walked into a church.
I felt a
No.
little hot when I was in there.
Excuse me. I am Megan Elizabeth Gailey, who had a first communion and confirmation. I am a
Brings a
good.
straw to the holy
Catholic.
water.
I'm a good Catholic girl.
Can I
Yesterday,
get more wafers? Can we get more wafers at table
have any
3?
wine?
She had her tampon that's filled with vodka in her bag.
excuse me, can I have some more of that blood chilled? Do you have any sparkling blood?
We've been waiting 40 minutes to be seated, and I'm
Well,
pregnant.
I will
It's
give
my birthday.
I will give attitude at the Vatican because it's like we built this, we own this. Let me in.
The Virgin Megan.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm noting that down.
Sorry to derail us.
No, this is
Oh my God, there was a man in my yard, but it's our gardener. Hi.
thoughts and prayers. Hey, let sports bitches be the first to say thoughts and prayers to the Pope.
To Pope Francis.
Frank.
We're thinking of you,
we call him
dog.
Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, breaking news. The Pope has pneumonia.
That should be the title of this episode.
Sports.
The Pope has pneumonia. Listen, this is what you're going to get in the off season.
Guerrero. No, the Pope has pneumonia.
No trades. I mean, it might be a trade. He may be going to the team up high.
Listen, this is what the off season is all about. We're gonna have to be talking about some different things, like the Pope. By the way, speaking of different things, Netflix is thinking about acquiring Sunday afternoon slot of football. What do you guys think about that? Cool.
You know, it's tough because I definitely think that Netflix did a really great job with the Christmas Day games. My problem with Netflix with sports has been that when they're live, there seem to be so many more commercials. Like we've been watching Raw live on Mondays, and the amount of commercial, like there's always a lot of commercials, but it seems like it's like 5-6 minutes long. I'm like, like if I'm noticing the length of time. So I think they do a great job, audio, sound, camera, all that, publicity, like. I hope they get better games than Prime was getting, on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not a new day of football because that is always a tough choice. But
I will say the afternoon games are always so dusty. So
I know.
maybe it's better to spruce it up. Like I'm thinking about old dusty dudes at CBS being like, okay, the afternoon games are kicking off.
And I thought they used to be, weren't they supposed to be good? Like it was supposed to be like, oh, this is a 1 p.m. game, but it's going to be like really good. But now it's just like the Broncos and somebody.
That's snack and nap time.
How dare you with the Broncos?
It is though, because it's
Broncos hate.
Well, I don't know anyone who loves their husband's second wife, so I just worry that like it's hard because like on the afternoon games it's very easy to put all the games on one box on the Sunday ticket on YouTube TV, but like if you have to have one on Netflix, then it's like
this just seems like it's gonna kind of be messy. It's like
gonna be messy.
One streamer should have all the things, which like YouTube TV does now, and just like don't do other stuff. I think it's gonna be hard for them.
I am like an elder, I think. I'm really nostalgic for like analog TV now. Like I'm just like I want to go back to like CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC. Like
what was the last show you watched on CBS comedy wise that you enjoyed? Because I'll tell you, Elspeth. Have you guys watched that show?
Elspeth is great.
No, but I love her.
But I watch it on the Paramount app. I don't watch it on that.
Same.
I watch St. Dennis. That's on NBC.
Oh, I know that's pretty good.
It's so funny. I watch Abbott
on that show.
ABC. So, but like, I just like the games being on those networks. And then when they're on different ones, I feel old that I gotta like this.
Well, what we hope is that the NFL doesn't go like what happened to the NFL, what happened to Major League Baseball does not happen to the NFL, because with Major League Baseball, so many independent carriers are carrying the games. Right. And then people then they get blacked out locally. Then people can't find their game. Then they don't know where it is or when it is or how it is. Yeah. And then all of a sudden your ratings are down and it's like, because nobody knows where to even watch.
I will say the oversaturation, there's just so much online that like going back to Meg's point, it was nice to just like have something that's on at 7, you're going to watch it and you're going to be. Also, I love that Meg is very pro networks. She's taking out a show and she's like, NBC, love it. Fox, love it. CBS, I'm back in.
Listen, we're going to streamers. There's something about sports. Like, I just think that's the only thing keeping those networks alive is sports. Like, that's it. I mean, we love all those shows, but like, if all the sports migrate to streaming, then it's dead. And then we have less places to sell shows to. And like, I need insurance.
Megan's being nice to someone. There must be an angle. Oh, that's right. Like it couldn't just
it's
be that
going
she
to streamers.
Loves CBS. She's like, been a big. I mean, my whole life. I'm probably gonna name my new child CBS. I'm probably about it.
love Jeopardy. I love 60 Minutes. There are some bops on CBS.
Okay.
Agreed.
It's just interesting timing.
CBS is actually kind of the last stand for true TV comedies. I watch a lot of light comedic drama type, I guess Elsbeth to me is that,
like a
not
mix.
necessarily a comedy, but just like a mix.
Yeah.
The way that Ted Lasso was
Meg, you
I
gotta
would be
dive in
laughing,
on
but I'm
some
definitely
Elsbeth.
gonna cry probably one time.
I
also
love
watch
that
Matlock.
lady. I was like, I wonder if Sarah watches Matlock. Elsbeth, that woman was in The Holdovers, I think, and I love her. I think she's a great actress.
That was she's
Oh,
from?
was she?
I loved The
think
Holdovers.
so.
I don't
That
remember
character's
her
from
from
The
that.
Good
other
Wife,
teacher.
right?
Oh, is it a spinoff? They love a spinoff at CBS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Anyways,
Matlock has Kathy Bates, not the
I
old
know.
Matlock.
No, I know.
Matlock.
I wrote so many Kathy Bates jokes for Critics' Choice that did not happen because she was going to be there. And I'm like, this is a thrill.
all I'm watching right now is Love is Blind new season. Scandal. Maybe the biggest piece of shit on the show exists right now.
Oh,
Somebody says I just turned 30 and he's just like, "Oh, so you're ugly now?"
I saw that. 30 was probably the hottest I ever was. A new White Lotus came out, so I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
watched
I gotta watch New White Lotus, and then
I'm
are you guys watching The
excited.
Pit? Is anybody watching The Pit?
But I keep on hearing things about it.
Very good.
No, I don't know. No Pitt.
The main doctor looks hottie.
Noah Wiley.
Oh,
It's Noah Wiley.
from ER.
Yeah, it's Noah
ER.
Wiley.
Yeah, I do love Noah Wiley.
But it is basically
we're talking old lady
24
stuff now,
hours.
Rachel.
It's 24 hours in an ER in Pittsburgh, and it kind of just goes through all of the different.
I'll watch that.
All
And
Steelers
so
fans?
characters stay for 6 to 8 episodes because they're still in the ER. 8. So it's 1 hour. Every episode is 1 hour in the ER.
Oh, that's crazy.
Of the things that they do in the emergency department.
Has anybody come in with a terrible towel up their butt?
Yeah, I'm sure there's really funny Steelers fans. We're killing it with Sarah today.
Sarah's a great laugh today.
That's a good joke.
Sarah's Molly hasn't worn off from her birthday.
I want to talk about these NFL cheat meals.
Yes. Okay. So the NFL offseason has officially begun. And oh my gosh, I wore all Colts stuff yesterday. I said I'm going to manifest a good year for all of us boys. So I saw this was from Bleacher Report and BR Gridiron, shout out. And they were asking NFL players what their cheat meal is now that they are in the off season. I want to read these. I want us to react because some of these I'm like, this is maybe why I'm not a professional athlete because I don't think these are cheat meals. Okay, so George Kittle, for instance, he says his cheat meal is a root beer float.
Ooh, yum. That's
delicious, but that's not a whole meal.
That's breakfast at my house.
I know.
That's not.
I haven't had a float in forever.
Meal?
Oh,
root beer float. Really good. They
root
used
beer
to
floats
make.
are.
Trader Joe's used to have root beer float popsicles. So it's like a root beer popsicle with cream in the middle. Oh, so good. And I can't find them anymore, and I'm very upset.
Yum.
Okay, Zay Flowers, he said, LOL, I don't really have one because I cheat every day.
Hey,
Zay Flowers, what's up?
Sports
You're my new favorite player.
Bitch of the week. Sports bitch of the week.
And his wife was like, come again? Come again? No, he might be single. He's really cute. Dimples, beautiful teeth. Love you, Zay. That's a great question. This is from Aaron Jones. I would say pina colada, cinnamon rolls, and boba. That's a funny one.
Another
Pina
great
colada,
answer.
cinnamon rolls, and boba is you're getting a sugar high, dog.
Is boba that bad for you?
No, I don't think so.
Tapioca balls get stuck in your throat.
Lions running back David Montgomery, he said, I love the yellowtail sashimi from Nobu. I could eat 6 plates of that by itself.
Yeah, that's
healthy.
fine.
That's healthy.
It's raw fish.
You can afford 6 plates of yellowtail from Nobu.
Good for you.
Have at it. Go off, King.
I do love when giant men, giant NFL players love Nobu. I think it's
Do you miss sushi at all, Meg?
Yeah, I've had to turn down sugarfish twice. And I you could almost certainly have sugarfish. It's not a big deal. I don't have like a taste for it right now.
Mm.
Do
Hmm.
you did you ever eat sushi, Megan, with Ralphie May?
No.
R.I.P. Ralphie May, 600 pounds comedian, but entire table
Oh my
full.
gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
What do you have?
Chelsea Chelsea wanted to order sugarfish during Critics' Choice, and everyone was like, Megan. And she was like, ugh, can't believe you're
Ugh,
doing this to
ruining
me.
it.
And I was like, you guys can get it. I'll just eat the rice. Um, okay. Alex Singletary? I don't know, kind of a babe, honestly.
Oh.
Oh.
He said, first meal I have at the start of every off season is In and Out. A 3 by 3, no lettuce, no tomato, whole grilled, extra spread, cheese fries with spread, strawberry shake.
Why is he doing the absolute most?
I'm
Because
wow.
going
he's
to
got
In-N-Out
beautiful
after this.
hair.
I
I
always
know.
You're going to
request
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out
extra spread.
sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm going to
And
In-N-Out
the
right after
spread
this to
is
take my
the spread is
sister.
like, yeah, the spread is like the Thousand Island.
hmm I get that on the
Delish.
side to dip my fries in.
What do you think the cheat meal is for that guy that we really love that's got like that thick accent that talked about like
Oh, the
he-
raccoons. That
Yeah.
guy? Xavier Leggett.
I love him.
Yeah. What
Okay.
is his cheat meal?
What would his cheat meal be? His cheat meal
I
would
don't
be
know.
like an
Like a
American
steak.
Caesar salad or something like that.
His is
Like
probably
something that
whatever
you didn't kill himself.
it's probably like whatever CJ's is. It's like triple dipper from Chili's. This is Leonard William. Oxtails, red beans and rice, plantains, jerk chicken, and then he added and fried wings. Ha ha ha. Like that to me is a cheat meal. Like it's like you're having 3 different kind of meat, red beans and rice, plantains. That's a real man right there.
Shake
Um,
Shack's my go-to. Shake Shack little
I
chocolate
love Shake Shack. I love
Custard.
Guys, we
Shake.
gotta stop
Stay on.
talking about this.
I know,
stuff. It's
making me hungry.
lunchtime.
Well, I'm going to have lunch after this. I'm going to get a Cuban sandwich.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Megan. Was there more cheat meals?
No,
Okay.
just ours.
Really quick, can I just say something about the Unrivaled one-on-one
Yes, please.
tournament?
Please.
So Nafisa Collar won it. It was very dynamic. I know.
Will you explain it a little
Yeah,
bit
it's like a
Discord.
one-on-one, right?
Can you explain it? It's like a one-on-one, right? First of all, the Discord has been jumping off on the one-on-one tournament. And
Oh
I
gosh.
started watching it because the Discord was talking about it. And I was like, oh, it's Skylar Diggins Smith, right? Like she's like always so hot. So I always like, want to watch her play. And I like the way she dribbles. And yeah, it's basically like a really organized game of make it, take it. It's like 10 minutes.
Mm.
Make it, take it means you make a shot, you get the ball back. So
Ah,
it's the first to 11, 10-minute clock, 7-second shot clock. There's still a ref, but like tournament style. And then the winner got $200,000, which was, and Nafisa Collar, you're one. And she was like the co-creator of the league. So then everyone's like,
that's
what?
awesome.
She cheated. It's like, did you watch her play? Like, there's no way you can even.
She's
begin
like,
to cheat.
where can I get $200,000 really quickly?
Yeah, instead of having to go overseas in the off season and play.
Yeah.
And she's like, anyone else could have won it. They just had
Yeah.
to beat me, and they didn't.
That's
But
sick.
it was pretty dope. She did great. I mean, obviously $200,000 is more than she makes in a year playing for the WNBA.
Ugh.
So it was just a really great way of kind of showcasing how little WNBA players make, but also a really fun, more dynamic. Like the All-Star game was happening and everyone's like, the one-on-one turn, like Unrivaled is so much better. And that tournament is still going on. And also like her Lunar Owls teammates who were because she's also the captain of her own Unrivaled team. So there's still the 3-on-3 and I think 5-on-5.
And their name is the Lunar Owls.
Lunar Owls, and so
Love
her
that.
teammates all got $10,000 just because she won the
Wow.
one-on-one,
Oh, I
which
love
I think
that.
was pretty fun. And anyway, but I think it just started a bigger conversation of Adam Silver saying like we're really thinking about looking at this in the NBA, and I'm
Mhm.
like nobody like who in the NBA like Kyrie Irving said he would play, but Kyrie Irving also has a lot. the reason that the All-Star game in the NBA is struggling is because guys don't want to look stupid or lose. Right. And like that's why they don't want to do the dunk contest or these
They don't want
drills
to play
competitions,
defense.
because
Yeah,
they
just
don't
for like
want to
younger guys.
they don't want to look bad. So you have to put money on the line, I think, in order to get guys even interested. Now Kyrie Irving is not going to play for money. He's going
No,
to
they're gazillionaires.
Right.
But I
So-
would also worry, if I was a player, I'd worry about getting hurt doing something like this. Like one-on-one, you are really
But then
exerting
it's
yourself.
then Dame, I think it was Dame, like brought a kid from the crowd and the kid beat him in one-on-one and won like $100,000. And they do like stunts like that. So it's like, okay, a child can beat you, which we love, but like another 6'5" man who also plays professional basketball can't. I don't understand like the difference there.
Because like, last year when Steph and Sabrina played or whatever, it's like
They
you have
cared.
to go. They cared, and you have to go into that. And I feel like Steph Curry is a man who is like very confident, and he's like, if I lose to Sabrina, I lose. Like
He
she's
says
better.
that's what
and like
that's
I
what
still go
Jesus
home.
wanted. That's what
I
God
still
wanted.
live with like a
Aisha.
badass babe, and like I have 3 kids, and I want my daughters to think that they can beat a man.
Yeah,
And
that's
like this
very
is like
cool.
the kind of mentality that we need from men in men's sports. I think it's like to go like it is okay to lose, and like the way that you react when another man beats you like head to head or like without your team, you know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
if you lose in a one-on-one game, it's on you. It ain't on nobody else. You can't go, well, so and so is missing shots, or you can't.
I think
you
Meg's
can't
right.
blame
I
it
think
on
these
anyone.
guys need to have more on the line. Like, get these younger guys from the G League in there and be playing for a contract. Why not? I'd watch that.
Yeah, it's so interesting because the NBA, like after it was in Indy last year, then they came out and were like, okay, we're basically not going to do a cold weather city ever again because it snowed and blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but like, what are you bringing to the table? It's like an ugly man being really picky. It's like, honey, you don't have anything to offer.
I'm
So if Scranton wants to host you, then you're going to be in fucking Scranton, Adam Silver.
All right. Anyway, it's gonna be fun to watch the rest of
Yeah.
it. So that's it.
Thanks for that breakdown. Great app.
Right
Love
up.
you guys. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go book a trip to the Vatican so I can see what all this
Pope, we
hot
love
business
you.
is.
The Vatican's
NBC,
poppin'.
CBS, Fox, we
Fox.
love you.
Big fan.
Big fans.
Did
of
we
your
miss
work.
one? Huge fans.
NBC.
And we have men, like I already was seeing like mock brackets today.
And pitchers and
So-
catchers reported in baseball. Very exciting. And they're all getting ready for the very first series, which starts March 18th and 19th in Tokyo. So
A month
Cubs,
away.
Dodgers in
So fun.
Tokyo, opening the season with
Should we go to
a
Vegas
lot of
for March
Japanese
Madness?
planes. Should we go to
Yes.
Vegas for March?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
all, and if you're like, should we go to Vegas for coffee? I'm like, yeah.
Yes, please. Okay, I gotta go. I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.